Farida Nekzad is a journalist and managing editor of Pajhwok, an independent news agency in Afghanistan. Pajhwok reaches Afghans through over 50 radio and independent television stations, providing daily news reports on local and regional issues. Like other women journalists in Afghanistan, she's recently become the target of threats and harassment. The murders of 2 women journalists in Afghanistan earlier this year underline the danger she faces. She's visiting Canada to receive an International Press Freedom Award from the Canadian Journalists for Free Expression. Tell us how you founded this agency. I know just to have any independent press activity in Afghanistan is tough, but particularly for women.
We founded this news agency in 2004, and we produce by 3 languages, the Pashto and English, and maximum we have per day about 40 news and reports.
One of the women that was killed, I think her name was Zaki Zia.
Yeah.
And I understand it's suspected she was killed by warlords, not by the Taliban. Is that the case?
Yeah, she before warned by warlords, and they were insist that you should close and ban your radio. Why it was? Because there was women journalists, and they have some programs that women presented. At first they start warning her by letter and says, "We'll kill you, don't ban your radio."
And were the warlords telling her to close down because she was criticizing the warlords, or just because she was a woman journalist?
It's a problem for women, because in that area people don't like journalism field for women. And the other thing, because on that area mostly warlords live. These people are captured their lands, their home, their houses.
Are these warlords that are involved in the government?
Still we have some of them in the parliament, some of them in a high position.
When I was in Afghanistan in 2002, first of all, they were very happy the Taliban was gone. The demand that we heard most often, over and over and over again, was that the NATO forces should disarm the warlords.
You were in Afghanistan, I think you know the process of DDR. DDR means they bring their all gun like these kinds of things to turn to the government. But it was not success, because a person have just a few old gun, and they bring to government, they shows that now we become DDR.
Is the Karzai government or NATO or the US, are they doing anything to protect the journalists in Afghanistan?
Government verbally says, we are supporting journalists and we are with you. Why they don't give the information? And they are issue a letter that nobody can give information to the journalists.
Have they investigated the killing of Zaki?
No, this is the problem, not just Zakia. If you remember, one of the news presenter, Shaima Rezai, was killed.
She was a talk show host.
Yeah, and also Shekeba Sanga.
Who was a music video host, I think.
He was in a Shamsha television as a newscaster. And there is no guarantee for life of journalists. Generally, women are targeted, especially women journalists and women leader of journalists.
Your news agency, it must be hard to fund an agency like this. How do you fund this agency?
At the beginning, by help of USAID.
Taking money from the USAID, do you find that hurts you in Afghanistan? I mean, do people see that, the fact that you had American money, does it make people think that the journalism might not be independent?
At the beginning, it was a little problem that the people think that we are taking money from the US. Maybe we are doing the policy which US want. But it was day by day, it's clear for the people that we are doing our own, because we are independent. And now mostly we are trying to be self-sufficient, because we have subscriptions and advertisements. And we have some grants from Internews, and also we have some from Open Society.
The growing strength of the Taliban in certain areas in the countryside, you were saying that some people are welcoming it because it's connected with security. Yeah. But what about in Kabul and in some of the bigger cities? How do people feel about the Taliban?
During the Taliban, at least people were secure. No bomb explosion, no rockets shooting. In the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul, you see there is bomb explosion, there is suicide attack, there is murder, there is kidnapped.
But the Taliban are mostly responsible for the killings and the bombings. So why do people see them as a solution?
What is the job of these people that they came for the sake of taking the responsibility for being peaceful Afghanistan, because of the killing, because of the security, because of the money explosion that they are losing their families, relatives. So they are thinking it is better if Taliban comes. For example, some of them lost their brother in the explosion. What's Karzai doing? What is the America doing? What is the NATO doing? Because they came to bring peace in Afghanistan. But even at the center of Afghanistan, Kabul, we are not safe. In some of the area, foreign force bombardment killed child and women. They should do carefully, because right now they lose their trust a little bit. I think you have to seriously suggest that this should stop, because these people get angry and says, oh, they came to bring peace, or they came for the reason that they should bombing on our houses.
The foreign troops, the Canadians, NATO, the Americans, do they want them to stay or to leave?
If the situation going on right now, they are happy that they should leave Afghanistan. Yeah, that's why we are hearing from the people.
So I know when I was there, many people didn't want the Taliban back, but they expected there to be reconstruction. And has there been the kind of reconstruction that was promised?
There is some reconstruction, but unfortunately, it was not success. The company which they deal with, they did not good quality work. The reconstruction is going on, but not at the level which people were hopeful. Maybe the organization misused the money and just made a little bit by the name of reconstruction.
If you talk to analysts and people know the situation in Afghanistan, everyone's saying the situation is getting worse and worse. If you agree with that, what should be done? What should be the policy?
Well, they should delete the criminal people, warlords, from high position, even from parliament. The second thing, they should have some negotiation. They can bring some of the Taliban who are thinking about the future of Afghanistan. And the third one should be the money came, where they spent, how much they spend, how much remain. These kind of things make reconstruction, rebuilding of Afghanistan about bringing peace in Afghanistan. Otherwise, people will lose the trust, and in the future, Afghanistan again will be destroyed by those people misuse from that.
In terms of your own personal safety, you're going to go back now. What are you going to face?
I'm hopeful that I should be able to fight again to continue my work in any situation.